Okay, we will start. Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay. And good evening to Dr. Shukri and all our friends. Today we would like to present a topic on the population pyramid, where the topic is the change in the shape of the Malaysian pyramid from 1957 to 2021. The following is a list of names for our group members, Group 2, Set 2. Alright, I will start with topic population pyramid. First of all, we need to know what a population pyramid is to make it easily. A population pyramid is a horizontal bar graph drawn in layers side by side in the shape of a pyramid. It used to indicate the age and gender structure of the population in a country. Well, here we can find out that there is a division for the number of category of men and women according to age. Okay, they are the type of population pyramid. The type of population pyramid are classified into four parts, namely progress, progressive pyramid, regressive pyramid, sta- uh, stable population pyramid, and the pyramid is disturbed. Let's go to the next slide to find out more. First is progressive pyramid. This among the example of progressive pyramid. Uh, we can categorize the pyramid into several features. First is peak, maksudnya puncak in the top of pyramid. Uh, uh, this subpeak means the elderly population is small and short lifespan. This may be due to low level of health, low lifestyle care, or lack of healthy lifestyle, which result in a short lifespan rate. Okay, the slope is concave, meaning high mortality rate were low in adult group, 2007. Okay. Maybe it's redraw the from Dalsem. Okay. Now the base is white. Its white shows high birth rate and many young people, where we can the high number of children. This may be due to many people getting married early or no family planning and so on. This can probably be described as developing country as Malaysia. Let's go to the next slide. Second type is regressive pyramid. And that is the example, but from Singapore. Uh, uh, Having a wider peak than the previous progressive pyramid. This means that many elderly and high life expectation of the population, with estimated average life expectation exceed 18 years old. Progressive pyramid also having a convex slope. This means adults are more than children or young people. And this also indicate a low mortality rate. And the side or best size is narrow, where it show the low birth rate. This may be represented by as currently only Singapore experience a regressive pyramid. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Third is stable pyramid. Overall, pyramid of this type are almost right. The shape of the pyramid is balanced. You can see pyramid hampir tegak. Uh, this pyramid has reached an optimal population and low birth and death rate, maybe due to level of health and awareness in healthcare is high. The pyramid also has a convex slope. This means that many adults with an average age between 25 to 55 years old. With this, the country will acquire sufficient manpower to develop the country's economy. Okay. This can show that a country has reached the optimal level of population, such as US and another country. Let's go to the next slide. Third type is disturbed pyramid. The shape of this type of pyramid is erratic, can happen on progressive, regressive or stable pyramid. And there is a bar disturbance effect where the length of the bar changes significantly, which may be due to war or disease outbreak, natural disaster, and etc. Okay, we go to the next slide. There we have said in the zone, they are example of population pyramid in Malaysia between 1917 to 2013 from Dazem. I hope all can see it. Here we can see how the Malaysian process to get a stable population structure or a stable population pyramid. For example, we can see where in 1917, 1918, 1991, 2000, 2010, 2018, Malaysia has experienced a progressive type of population pyramid. Meanwhile, we can see that in 2020, we can see the pyramid is become balanced, where Malaysia will experience a stable population pyramid. In addition, according to the Department of Statistics Malaysia, this is an expectation of a population pyramid in 2030, where Malaysia is achieve a stable population pyramid. This is because we need to achieve a stable pyramid so that economic resources in a country can be used optimally to develop the country. I think for the next slide, I will pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
Thank you, Hilmi. Now we continue to see population change in Malaysia. Okay, I choose to present it in the form of a graph because each change can be seen more clearly than a pyramid. If you look at the population in Malaysia, there is no doubt that there is an increase for each year from 1970 to 2010. But there is fluctuating trend in population growth rate. We can see in the red line. First, we look at 1970 to 1975. The population increased, but the population growth rate decreased significantly from 3.6% to 2.5%. According to the book, the population of Malaysia, published by the Institute of Southeast Asian Study, the decline that occurred around 1970 to 1980 was due to racial riot on 30 May 1969, which resulted in the movement of non-Bumiputra to Singapore and also other countries. At that time, there was only a small inflow of migrant workers in Tanah Melayu, but a large outflow of particularly Chinese. Okay, next, we can see the fluctuation of normal population growth rate between 1980 to 2000. The difference between the ups and downs of the growth rate is not very significant. This change was due to natural birth rate and death rate increasing and decreasing throughout the year. However, at the beginning of 2005, the population growth rate continued to decline after the year 2000. This is because in May 2004, the Malaysian government began to talk about tightening the rule and procedure for hiring foreign workers. Of course, we all know that at that time, the entry of foreign workers into Malaysia was one of the factors to the increase in the total population in Malaysia. But there is also a problem. The Minister of Human Resource at that time, Fong Chun On, said that there are a lot of foreign workers in Malaysia and cause oversupply of migrant workers. So restriction had to be imposed. Because of that, there is decline in population growth rate after year 2000. That's all for me, so I will pass to the next presenter, Azlan. Thank you, Doctor.
Okay, thank you to Nabila. Now I will continue to explain about the change in the Malaysian population from 2010 to 2020. In 2010 to 2012, there was a decrease in the population growth rate from 1.8% to 1.5%. In 2013, there was an increase in the population growth rate from 1.5% to 2.4%. This increase was due to the decrease in the birth rate of population from 70.8% in 2012 to 60.7% in 2013. Next, in 2014, there was a decrease in the population growth rate from 2.4% in 2013 to 1.6% in 2014. According to the Siaran Akhbar, yes, okay. Equal, yes. According to the, okay. According to the, alright, it's alright. Sir. According to the Siaran Akhbar Perangkaran Malaysia pada tahun 2014, this decrease was due to the increase in the number of deaths. Penyebab peningkatan dalam jumlah kematian pada tahun 2014 adalah sakit jantung. Menurut rekod kadar kematian pada tahun 2014, sakit jantung menyumbang jumlah kematian terbanyak, iaitu sebanyak 13.5% daripada jumlah kematian keseluruhan pada tahun 2014. In 2014 to 2018, the population growth rate was declined, but it seemed to be a normal in the population change. Next, in 2018 to 2019, there be a drastic decrease in the population growth rate from 1.1% to 0.4%. According to the Department of Statistics Malaysia, state the decrease in this population growth rate is contributed by the decrease in the fertility rate and the decrease in the net international migration. Malaysian population in 2019 was 32.5 million people, up from 32.4 million people compared to 2018. Daripada 32.5 juta penduduk yang dicatatkan pada tahun 2019, 29.3 juta penduduk merupakan penduduk warga negara dan 3.2 juta penduduk merupakan penduduk bukan warga negara. Next, in 2020, the population grow rate is expected to remain at 0.4 and the population will increase to 32.7 million people. Secara kesimpulannya, sebab utama yang boleh saya nyatakan yang menyebabkan berlakunya penurunan dalam kadar pertumbuhan penduduk dari tahun 2010 hingga 2020 adalah disebabkan oleh penurunan dalam tahap kesuburan. Menurut kenyataan daripada Ketua Perangkaraan Malaysia, Datuk Seri Dr. Muhammad Uzi Muhyiddin, dalam satu artikel berita harian menyatakan penyebab penurunan kesuburan adalah daripada peningkatan dalam tahap pendidikan golongan wanita yang telah membawa kepada peningkatan jumlah golongan wanita berkejaya. Hal ini seterusnya menyebabkan berlakunya peningkatan penangguhan perkahwinan dan perancangan keluarga. I think that's all for me. Now I would like to pass to next presenter, Hairi. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Adlan. I will continue with the chain related to the graph. The population of our country is affected by several factors, especially socio-cultural factors that are closely related to change in population growth rate in the country. As you well know, the growth rate is measured in terms of the number of births to the number of deaths. So, the main factor driving the change of each growth rate is the declining fertility rate since the early 19th. It is a concern for the government, especially the government's goal to reach 70 million in a short time. So, when the fertility rate are low or slow, causing the goal to reach that figure takes up to hundreds of years. If we look at 1995, the fertility rate is 5.9% compared to 2018, which is only 2%. The effect was on the growth rate, which decreased to 1.4% in 2018 from 3.2% in 1961. Moreover, as a result of the fertility rate as well, a concern arises to our country when it is expected to be one of the fastest aging countries in 2030, when the population age 16 and above increased to 10.7% from 10.3% in 2019. Next is a factor of mortality. Low mortality rates also lead to change in the growth rate of the population itself. The concept is similar to that fertility rate. In addition, socio-economic factors such as wanting to increase the country productivity as well as the purchasing power of national goods are also among the indirect factors. As population growth increases, then the number of manpower available in the market increases. This can help the country's economy to keep moving. In addition, it is a factor of national policy. Social policy that focuses on aspects such as health, education, housing, family development, including family planning, cultural improvement, social balance in terms of ethnic group and genders, the welfare of children and the elderly. As all this will be influenced by the current of socio-economic development, growth and population distribution. Manpower policy which take into account labour force growth and change in labour force participation rate by gender as well as the increasing needs for the advanced technology training. Finally, the development of health service sector also play as important role in increasing the population of our country. This development can be seen before independence when Taiping Hospital was established. The existence of increasingly sophisticated health facility enables the people in our country to enjoy health facilities well. This indirectly lowers the death rate in our country. According to source, the life expectancy of the population in our country is up to 70 years old in 2018. Okay, I will pass to the next presenter.
Okay, thank you, Hairi, for the explanation. Now I'm going to talk about the changes in the shape of population pyramid related to government policy. So, firstly, government new population policy was introduced in 1984 to achieve a stable population of 70 million of the year 2100 by Dr. Mahathir Mohamad. The strategy was to contribute more to productive and reproductive capacities in Malaysia. Why this policy is introduced? Firstly, in the 15 years up to early 1984. The new population policy before that was approved by Cabinet. Malaysia has been experienced a steady decline in its annual population growth rate as our members just said just now. Also, the United Nations official projection were that Malaysia's population would continue to stabilize at 39 million people by the year 2150 if current fertility trends continue. Next slide. Why annual population growth rate has been low? There are a few key factors that happen here. Firstly, higher educational level amongst women, rapid urbanization of Malaysia, later marriage conducted by a few family, and also family planning program that have 10 to fewer children. Next slide. Okay, what is the government strategies in this 70 million population policy? Firstly is to promote a national family development program to aim at strengthening and family encouraging greater stability. Also, family planning was to be treated as one of the services within this program. Incentive for childbearing were also recommended and instituted. Maternity leave and tax relief were raised from the previous limit of 3 children up to 5 children. One of the few key factors here was to fewer divorce, earlier age at marriage, more marriage, and also support service such as family counseling. This strategy was to increase our population, to support the economy, and to be a stable nation. That's all for me. Thank you. Yes. Oh, yeah.
Okay, thank you, Doctor, and also thank you, Farid. So for the next part, I will be presenting on how the changes in population affects the process of economic transformation in Malaysia. So next slide, please. Okay, to make a very fair and also holistic judgment in this issue, our group actually came out with an idea statement to find the answer. As the population increases, we had an idea statement that the number of labor force also increases. So the labor force, also known as the tenaga buruh, here are referred to the people who are aged 15 to 64 years old. So referring to the first graph, I will just go very fast. We can see that the number of labor force from 1982 until 2020, which is highlighted in the bar graph in green, is actually kept on increasing. Same goes to the number of employees from 1982 to 2020. So we can see that both labor force and also number of employees kept on increasing in these respective years. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, using the data from we collected from DOSM, this is the graph that we actually plotted, which shows the percentage of employment contribution by economic sector. So as we can see that the people who opt to work in primary sector, which is the agriculture, livestock, and mostly the traditional sectors, kept on decreasing from 1982 to 2020, and we can see that people who actually opt to work in these secondary and also tertiary sectors kept on increasing, and we can see that number of employees who are working in the tertiary sector, they are more compared to the other two sectors. So based on our judgment, we can give there are few factors which actually cause the number of employees to work more in the secondary and also tertiary sector. Might be because of the rural urban migration due to a few government policies that emphasize many laborers to actually move out from their rural place to much more developed cities and urbans, which actually made them to opt working in this secondary and also tertiary sector economic sector in Malaysia. So from this, our group is able to conclude that as the population changes or as the population increases, we can see that the number of employees who work in secondary and also tertiary sectors increases, and this actually gives us a clear picture that where previous years where Malaysia used to emphasize on the primary sector as one of the important economic sector in encouraging its increase in GDP, we can see that now Malaysia economic has been transformed to an economy which emphasizes on the secondary and also the tertiary sector, and it is not as before, which we emphasize on primary sectors. So I think that's all from me. I'll pass it to Saidato. Yes, Doctor. Yeah. Yes, doctor. Thank you, doctor. Economic sector that are affected due to the change in population pyramid. Overall, we can see the main sector of the country have up and down in the country because of the industrial revolution 4.0. But this sector will grow further with the existence of modern agriculture cultivated by young people. Next. Okay. The second sector continues to grow further for the development of the country. The labour force mostly come from foreigner workers for the manufacturing and construction sector, which is why the number of foreigners continues to increase in Malaysia because of the employment opportunity. Back. Due to the increasing population of the country, the service sector that contribute the most to the country is also increasing because there are new services introduced to meet current need. For example, the existence of food delivery service such as Foodpanda, delivery of goods due to the explosion of online shopping such as JNT Express and Ninja Van. Okay, thank you. I will pass to the next presenter. I want to show the effect of the population increase for the sector.
Okay, I will explain about the population pyramid 2021 and the implications of the trend in the shape of the pyramid. Okay, next. Okay, the pyramid above shown the population pyramid of the year 2021. From the DOSM, the Malaysia's population in 2021 is estimated at 32.7 million as compared to 32.6 million in 2020. The decline in the percentage of population growth rate was due to lower number of non-citizens from 3.0 million in 2020 to 2.7 million in 2031. This was in line with the closure of national borders and the return of foreigners to their respective country during Movement Control Order (MCO) following the spread of COVID-19 pandemic worldwide. The growth rate of citizens remains stable at 1.0%, with population increase from 29.7 million in 2020 to 30 million in 2021. In 2021, the male population outnumbered the female population with 16.8 million and 15.9 million respectively. The live births in 2021 is 111,473, while the deaths in 2021 is 44,307. Okay, next. Okay. This is the implication of the trend in the shape of the pyramid. Okay, the first impact from the economic aspect is can increase a productive workforce. From the pyramid, you can see the slope of the convex pyramid indicates a large number of adults or the large number of working age. They are between 15 until 44 years old. This situation may be due to the high birth-in rate in previous years or immigration that took place in the country. As a result, the country will be able to supply a productive workforce to help accelerate the economic growth of a country. The second impact is we increase the unemployment rate. The large population will cause a job competition, especially among the other population. So to get a suitable job, they must have a good academic qualifications to enter the job market. For students who do not have a good education or are inexperienced, the opportunity to get a job is difficult. Moreover, there are some employers who prefer to hire foreign workers compared to local workers, especially in the construction field due to the low demand for wages by foreign workers. As a result, there will be an increase in the unemployment rate in our country due to some people who do not being able to get jobs due to certain factors such as low levels of education and lack of employment opportunities in our country. Okay, from the social impact is can increase the social problems in the country. Is because the high unemployment rates will cause many social problems such as robbery, snatch thief, and moral decay will also occur, and it will be difficult to control it. This is because the population who do not succeed in getting a job will commit crimes like this to cover their cost of living as well to continue living. As a result, this will threaten the safety of the people as well as the well-being of the country. Okay, and last from the healthcare impact is to improve the health facilities. The high mortality rate in the elderly is due to ineffective medical technology and practice. Diseases that often affect the elderly such as heart disease, high blood pressures, and diabetes. So the country needs to improve health facilities to control the disease of the elderly and increase the life expectancy of its people. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Okay, doctor. I will pick up the question number one from group T4. Is there any government policy that may support this vast population of people? So there are many policy that can affect the population pyramid, such as environmental policies that take into account the hazard of ecosystem damage due to rapid population development and growth. Other than that, and the energy policy should and identify the new energy source. That's all. Thank you, Doctor. Welcome.
Yes.